Have you ever wondered what's true and what's just another myth surrounding rock legend Mick Jagger? The iconic frontman of the Rolling Stones has been the subject of rumors, myths, and wild stories for decades. But what's the real story behind the rock star who became a household name and one of the greatest figures in music history? Today, we're going to dig deep into the truth behind Mick Jagger, the man behind the legend, and you might just be surprised by what we uncover. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Mick Jagger has always been the center of attention, not just for his musical talents but also for his wild, scandalous, and often outrageous public persona. But is the Mick Jagger we know today really who he is, or is he simply a carefully crafted figure, shaped by decades of fame, fortune, and the whims of the media? To many, Mick Jagger is the quintessential bad boy of rock and roll, untamed, rebellious, and constantly surrounded by a whirlwind of rumors. His name is almost synonymous with a lifestyle of excess, fame, and scandal. But let's rewind a bit and get to the heart of this mystery. Mick Jagger, from the very start of his career, made it clear that mediocrity was not an option for him. He wasn't just interested in making music that was good, he wanted greatness. "I didn't think the stuff we did was outstandingly wonderful," he once said. "It was good, but was it great?" And I was like, was it really great? His pursuit for perfection would shape his career, and in many ways it defined the Rolling Stones as one of the greatest rock bands in history. "If we're going to do a record, it has to be great," he declared. And with that mindset, Mick Jagger propelled the Rolling Stones from humble beginnings to global superstardom. With fame, however, comes the inevitable flood of rumors, many of them completely fabricated. And Mick Jagger is no stranger to these tall tales. Some rumors have become part of rock and roll folklore, like the infamous story of Jagger caught in bed with David Bowie, or the one where he supposedly purchased a mansion while under the influence of LSD. We've all heard these stories, but have they ever been confirmed? Was Mick Jagger really the bad boy of rock from birth, or is it all just a product of public perception? The questions keep piling up, but the real story might be even more fascinating than the myths surrounding him. One of the most enduring rumors is the story of Jagger and Bowie. In 1990, David Bowie's ex-wife Angela made a startling claim. During a live appearance on the Joan Rivers show, she said she had walked in on Mick Jagger and David Bowie in bed together. This revelation caused a media storm, but a week later, Angela backtracked on the story, saying, "I didn't catch them doing anything, I just saw them in bed together. They looked naked, but so what?" This added even more fuel to the fire. Was there something between Jagger and Bowie? Neither of them ever confirmed or denied it. And to this day, no one really knows the truth. But in the world of rock and roll, legends like these live on and become part of the mystique that surrounds these icons. Now, let's talk about a scandal that became an integral part of Mick Jagger's mythos, the infamous Mars Bar incident of 1967. The Rolling Stones had long been seen as rebellious figures in the eyes of the British public. They were constantly breaking societal norms, and their hedonistic lifestyle was well documented in the press. The story goes that during a police raid at Keith Richards' estate, the Rolling Stones were caught in the middle of a scandal involving a Mars Bar and Marianne Faithfull. According to the rumor, police allegedly found Faithfull naked with the candy bar in a compromising position. The story spread like wildfire, and in the conservative society of 1967, it solidified the Rolling Stones' reputation as the ultimate bad boys of rock. But here's the kicker: there's no official police record that confirms the Mars Bar story. Marianne Faithfull herself called it one of the most ludicrous fabrications ever made. She's even gone on the record saying that the story was ridiculous and that it was nothing more than a wild rumor. But even after all these years, the tale still persists, continuing to fuel the rock and roll myth that surrounds Mick Jagger. What sets Mick Jagger apart from so many other rock stars, however, is his response, or rather, his lack of response, to these rumors. Jagger has always maintained an air of mystery about his life. While other stars may be quick to comment on their personal lives or try to correct the narrative, Jagger never seemed to care much about what was being said about him. He let the stories swirl, let the rumors grow, and let the public speculate. This is one of the reasons why Mick Jagger is still relevant today, more than 6 decades after the release of Satisfaction. It's not just his music, but his control over his image, and the mystique he's carefully cultivated over the years. When you look at other rock stars from his era, many of whom fell victim to the excesses of fame, Jagger's discipline and restraint stand in stark contrast. He may have been involved in romantic scandals and controversies, but he never let it completely derail his career. He understood early on that longevity in the music business requires a long-term strategy. But let's be real. Mick Jagger didn't just become a legend because of his business acumen or his discipline. His legacy is built on his music, his performances, and the way he captivated audiences all over the world. To millions of fans, Jagger is synonymous with rock and roll itself. His energy on stage is unmatched, and his charisma is undeniable. There's a reason why, even at the age of 80, Jagger still commands the stage like no other. When we think of Jagger, we think of those iconic performances. His hips swaying, his voice electrifying the crowd, and his ability to make every person in the audience feel as though he's singing directly to them. But what people don't always realize is that Mick Jagger's success is not just a product of his natural talent. It's the result of decades of hard work, planning, and an almost obsessive drive to stay at the top of his game. Of course, like many rock stars, Mick Jagger's personal life has often been the subject of public fascination. His romantic relationships have long been the source of endless gossip. From his infamous love affair with model and actress Jerry Hall to his rumored flings with Madonna and Angelina Jolie, Mick Jagger's love life has been as rock and roll as his music. But was he really the ladies' man he's made out to be, or was that just another piece of his public persona? It's hard to say, but one thing is certain. Mick Jagger was no stranger to the high-profile relationships that kept fans and tabloids alike interested in his every move. In the 1980s, rumors swirled about Jagger's relationship with Madonna. It was said that she pursued him relentlessly, even to the point of being a groupie for the Rolling Stones, willing to do whatever it took to get close to him. But neither Jagger nor Madonna ever confirmed the rumors, leaving fans to speculate for years. Was there something between them? Or was it just another tall tale in the world of rock and roll? And then there's the story of Jagger and Angelina Jolie, a rumor that has captivated fans for decades. Allegedly, in the 1990s, when Jolie was just starting to make a name for herself in Hollywood, she had a date with Jagger. But the night took an unexpected turn when Jagger allegedly ditched Jolie midway through their date to chase after Charlie's Angel star Farrah Fawcett. Again, there's no concrete evidence to confirm this story, but that hasn't stopped it from becoming a part of the Mick Jagger legend. What's fascinating about Jagger's romantic rumors is not just the names of the women involved, but how he's responded to all of it, or rather, how he hasn't. Mick Jagger has always been the master of silence when it comes to his personal life. He lets the rumors swirl, and over time they've become part of the mythos that surrounds him. In a way, it seems like Jagger understands that the legend is more important than the truth. His silence only adds to his mystique. But let's not forget, Jagger's career didn't just happen because of his image or his ability to stir up gossip. The real heart of Mick Jagger's success lies in his musical talent and the timeless songs he's written with Keith Richards. While many people think of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards as the heart and soul of the Rolling Stones, few realize just how integral Brian Jones was to the early days of the band. In 1962, it was Brian Jones who founded the band, chose its name, and steered them towards the blues. He was the driving force behind the Rolling Stones until his departure in 1969, but it was Mick Jagger who ultimately became the soul of the band, steering them towards rock and roll greatness. We've reached the end of this deep dive into Mick Jagger's legendary career. And one thing is clear, whether you love him or love to hate him, Mick Jagger is a living legend. His career spans more than 6 decades, and throughout it all, he's remained at the top of the music world. The rumors, the myths, and the stories will continue to follow him. But in the end, Mick Jagger has done it on his own terms. What do you think about Mick Jagger after hearing the truth behind the